What's up, YouTube? This is the roof pipe we're checking in. Today, I'm smoking my Mario Grande little nose warmer. I'll do a close-up of it. And I'm smoking some early morning pipe. Camper. Today I wanted to talk about how to put a clear cover over your stem instead of using the softy bit that I'm using here. So let's start. I'm gonna put it down. So what I use is clear tubing, which is 3/4. I mean, I'm not 3/4, 3/8 vinyl tubing that you could purchase at your local hardware store. It's pretty pliable. And what I use to cut this, I figured that scissors were not doing the trick. They were not cutting straight, so they were kind of jagged at the end. So I found tin snips. There's 3 types, so there's more types, but there's green, there's red, there's green, and there's the yellow ones. The red are right-handed, the green are left-handed, and the yellow are straight. The straight cuts real easy. In one strike, you cut the whole thing. So you put it there, you kind of gauge it, and then you just cut it, and the whole thing comes right off. And it's a nice, clean cut. So what I do is I cut about, I don't know, 4 inches. So now you have your piece, and this eventually is going to go over your stem. But the stems nowadays are really wide, and there's no way you're going to get it over without doing some work to the vinyl tubing. So what I do is, if the stem is not too wide, what I do is I soak this in hot water for 5 minutes, and if it's super pliable now, you could just slip it right over it, leaving. So let's say that you put it in water, you slipped it in to the desired depth, and then you're gonna have about 3 inches left, 2.5, 3 inches left over this way. So then what I do is I get a knife and I do a sharp single cut, if possible, right on the edge of the stem. Now that's not always possible to give it a one-shot cut, but if it's a little jagged, what I do is maybe a little sandcloth or sandpaper and get that edge off so that your tongue doesn't get bothered by it. So the other way is, if the stem is too wide, what I use is the same tin snips that I used to cut it. I work them in there, and I open it up a little bit. I work it in there a little more, and I open it. So I kind of exercise that for a little while to heat up the vinyl tubing. So you go a little bit further up in there, work it, and you can tell it's already stretched pretty wide. So one step back. Before you start this process, you got to make sure that the vinyl tubing inside is clean. So grab yourself a little rag and start working it in there, twisting and pushing at the same time, so you could get all that whatever residue is in there nice and clean. Make sure that your tin snips or whatever tool you're using is also clean, so you don't leave any of that residue there, because you will see it once you put it over the stem. You'll see if it's dirty. And if you have a beautiful stem, then it's not gonna look right. So once again, you work it in there, start winding it, put it in there a little further, wind it. So once you did this for a minute or two, it's nice and wide. Be ready with your pipe. Have it already lubricated. Put a little spit on it, a little water, whatever you prefer. And then once you have it widened, you immediately take it out and slip it right over. Once you slipped it over, go to your desired depth, and it's gonna lock in place. So good luck taking it out, by the way, because if you now I feel my finger tightening because the vinyl is contracting again. So if you want to remove it, it's going to be really hard. What I do if you made a mistake, if it's crooked, I start slicing it from the side, and very carefully not to damage your stem, and then finally it'll come out. That's why I leave the longer piece until the end, until I'm happy with the depth and how it looks. So once it's at your desired depth, then get a knife, cut it, and then sand the edges if that's what you like, or if you did a nice cut, then you don't have to do it. And pipe went out. And that's it, guys. That was the tip of the day, per se. And this is a roof piper checking out. Later.